Good morning, everybody. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, would the city clerk please call roll?
Alyssa Ramneth.
Present.
Zaria Pope.
Present.
Deja Lanier.
Present.
Angel Morgan.
Present.
Larry DeVito.
Present. Okay, third on the agenda, is there a motion to approve the agenda from today, April 20th, 2018?
Motion to approve the agenda for today of April 20th, 2018.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor say aye, all opposed say nay.
Aye.
Okay, fourth on the agenda, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Is there a second to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so fifth on the agenda, we have Peyton Bryan with Parks and Recreation, and she will be discussing the Strawberry Festival.
Hi, I'm Peyton Bryan, and I'm here representing Parks and Rec. The reason I am here is to propose the Strawberry Festival in Port Orange's new Riverwalk on September 22nd. This event is meant to bring the community together and raise money to give a scholarship to a student at Atlantic's High School Agriculture Academy. Our budget is $8,500, which is all covered by our many sponsors. The entry fee is $7 for adults, $3 for kids, and the proceeds will go towards the scholarship. At this event, there will be carnival games, jumpy houses, vendors, bands, DJs, fireworks, petting zoos, and giveaway. Our strawberries will be provided by a vendor from Plant City, Florida. I'm asking Port Orange to co-sponsor this event and provide us with volunteers, city workers, and law and fire enforcement.
Is there a motion to discuss Mrs. Bryan's Strawberry Festival proposal?
What time is this festival?
10 to 10.
Okay, why should we have another festival when we already have family days?
Well, Port Orange has never had a strawberry festival, so it's something different, and it's a reason to bring the community together, and so they don't have to leave Port Orange for an event.
And you said all your finances were covered by sponsors?
Yes.
Could you list some of those sponsors for us?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, point of order. We need a motion to approve
So that you can discuss it.
so that we can discuss.
Is
Man, this clerk is on it.
is there a motion to approve the discussion of Ms. Bryan's proposal?
Motion to approve the discussion of Peyton Bryan's
Is there a second? Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Continue, Ms.
Okay.
Bryan.
ICI Homes, Raiden, Target, Walmart, Halifax Health, Hometown News, The Superwash, Southern Stone, Waste Pro, Wawa, Country Inn and Suites, FPL, 1 Hour Air Conditioning, ViStar, and the City of Port Orange to co-sponsor.
Okay. You said you needed volunteers. What would you specifically need volunteers for?
You know, picking up the trash or helping people at the gate to get in and stuff like that.
You also said you needed police and fire. How long would they work? How many hours, and how much do you expect them to like get paid and stuff?
Well, they need to direct the traffic, so almost all day for the entire event, and overtime would they get paid?
So how many workers do you need?
About 4.
For each, or just in
In
total?
general.
Okay.
Are those all the comments from the city council? Are there any comments from the audience?
I have a question.
Okay.
What is the
You gotta make her come up to the podium and get on the record. Mr. Mayor, you gotta ask her to come up.
Ms. Basudin, please come up to the podium.
My question is.
Oh, now you gotta make her state her name for the
Oh
record.
gosh.
Miss, can you please state your name for the record?
Hi, I'm Miss Basudin with Atlantic High School. My question is the money that will be collected at the gate. Where will that money go? Is it a good cause?
The proceeds will go to the scholarship for the FFA, Future Farmer of America. Scholarship for a student.
And will that be kept locally?
Yes, at Atlantic High School.
That's all.
Are there any more comments from the public? Okay, if not, is there a motion to vote on Mrs. Bryan's proposal for the Strawberry Festival?
There's a motion to vote on Miss Bryan's Strawberry Festival proposal.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ms. Bryan, you may be seated. Number 6 on the agenda, we have Mrs. Gabriella Hollingsworth. She's representing the police department, and she will be talking about school safety.
Good morning. My name is Gabriella Hollingsworth, and I am part of the Port Orange Police Department. I came up with a proposal that correlates with a major problem occurring today. I would like to do my part as a police chief and stand up for the voices unheard. We all want to ensure the safety of our children. In the past occurrences, a lot of damage has been done to those who weren't equipped with the right knowledge. The purpose of my organization is to reinforce the steps that should be followed while having an active shooter on grounds by not only teaching a lesson, but making sure that these steps are well understood and put into action when needed. I will be working hand in hand with the Volusia County districts to ensure that this presentation will be accepted. I wish to have an officer whose main duty is presenting a presentation to all 10 of our public schools, including all grade levels. The officer will use his or her time wisely, and our anticipated budget is $2,000, including posters to get the word out. The support I fully request is relying on the minds of the parents and staff who wish to keep their children safe. This lesson will increase the chances of everyone coming out unharmed. Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to have discussion on Mrs. Hollingsworth proposal on school safety presentations?
So Mayor, you really only need just a motion to approve, not a
Okay.
motion to discuss. So that way you only have to do one motion instead of two.
Okay.
So just motion to approve the item.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the item?
Motion to approve the item.
Is there a second?
I second.
And then discussion. Do you have any questions?
I have a question. Okay, so how is the officer, I guess, going to present this to the students?
It would be in the in the school, in the auditorium where you could gather all the kids, and he's basically doing his job as that officer to get the word out as wisely as he can, basically.
Okay, and is that officer getting trained, or is he just using his background knowledge or her background knowledge to present the information?
Basically like background knowledge. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
How long will the presentations be?
However long he decides.
Is he getting like paid
Yeah.
by the hour?
How is he going to teach these students about school safety? PowerPoint, speech?
Yeah, PowerPoint presentation.
And how effective is teaching students about school safety through a PowerPoint going to be?
Very effective.
Have you already talked with Volusia County Schools about partnering with them and conducting these presentations?
Not yet. But I will be.
Okay. Are there any comments from the public?
I wasn't done.
Oh, you weren't done? Okay. Sorry.
Do you think like a PowerPoint would be like accurate for like kindergartners? Like they're not gonna pay attention to a PowerPoint.
It'll be something. He will do something that will catch your attention and make sure, you know, it's not gonna be the same for like all grade levels. Obviously, the smaller kids are gonna need more. You know, yeah.
To go off with what Ms. Lanier said, how is a PowerPoint going to be effective and address the actual real life situation of a school shooting?
He could include videos, like, I don't know, it's his job to really make it up and be effective. That's the main goal.
Are there any more comments from the city council?
No.
Would anybody in the audience like to make a comment? Please come up to the podium, sir, and state your name for the record.
Mr. Mayor, John Doe. I live in Port Orange, and I think something that you started alluding to is very wise, and I think the council should think about amending their motion to approve and maybe work with the county on this. You know, I feel very strongly. I pay taxes here in Port Orange. I pay taxes in the county. And, you know, if you think about it, this is a county school district. It's not a city school district. And the county has some responsibility here to provide protection, I think, to the city schools and to be able to pay for it. I think it's honorable that you guys are wanting to put in some time and effort and money into this process, but I think you should talk to the city school district, have them pay for some of it, or the county as well. So thank you very much.
Are there any more comments from the audience? Okay, is there a motion to vote on Mrs. Hollingsworth's proposal?
It's already on the table.
Huh?
It's already on the table.
Oh,
You
okay.
did that first.
Okay. So all in favor of Mrs. Hollingsworth's proposal, say aye, and all in favor of Mrs. Hollingsworth's proposal, say aye, and all opposed, say nay.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
So Mayor, let me interrupt. With that, since you have nays, I would do a roll call vote, so you know exactly who the nays are, because it needs to be in the record and on the minutes.
Okay.
Okay? So you just ask the clerk to do a roll call vote.
Okay, clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Alyssa Remnant, what do you vote?
Nay.
Zaria Pope, what do you vote?
Nay.
Deja Lanier?
Nay.
Angel Morgan?
I or?
Yes.
Yes.
Larry DeVito?
Nay. So, Mrs. Hollingsworth, we are going to table your proposal. I want you...
It's not tabled. You just
Okay.
voted it down.
Okay, we voted it down. I suggest that you speak more with Volusia County Schools before you go any further with this proposal. It's a good idea, but I think you need to talk more about, you know, where that money is going to come from and partnering with the school district.
Okay. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Next up, number 7 on the agenda, we have Matt Quinn with the Waste Department with his recycling project.
Hi, I'm Matt Quinn. I'm with the Public Works Department. The Public Works Department has to provide a safe and cleaner environment that enhances the quality of lives and the residents of Port Orange. The people who work for Public Works do this all by maintaining and improving the city's infrastructure through the establishment of various services. This is accomplished through landscaping, storm drains, and traffic control. Our department has made it our goal to educate the residents of Port Orange about the benefits of recycling. The Public Works Department was created to help Port Orange become a land of beauty. We want to help our environment, and that will help us. A cleaner city is a better city. We are targeting the Port Orange population. We have 24,500 homes in Port Orange, and that means a large volume of recyclable material. And if we collect most of this vast amount of recyclable material, we can create a vast amount of funds, and it could benefit Port Orange. With these funds, we can start beautification projects throughout our city. We have a total budget of $72,565, and we will be using $10,000 of that to buy 200 recycling bins, which will be $2,600, and we will be hiring 4 to 5 people to help teach our residents of Port Orange about our project. That'll be all.
Any comments from the city council?
Sorry.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, we need a motion to approve.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve Mr. Quinn's proposal?
Motion to approve Mr. Quinn's proposal.
Is there a second to approve Mr. Quinn's proposal?
I second.
All in favor say aye, all opposed say nay.
Aye.
Mayor, you don't want to vote yet. You want to do that discussion. Somebody have
Okay.
questions?
Yeah. Okay. You said there's over 24,000 homes.
There's 24,500 homes.
Okay. And how is just 200 bins gonna help?
Well, just a little effect of that, because most homes have recycling bins, will help.
Okay.
How do you plan to influence people to actually start recycling?
Well, if we show them the benefits of it and how it would really help Port Orange, I feel like it would change a lot of people's minds.
How are you gonna do that?
We're going to start programs to teach everyone about it. We're going to do advertisements on the Port Orange websites and just try to push it to schools and everything.
Okay. Earlier in your proposal, you mentioned beautification projects. Can you go into more detail about those?
Well, it would be like how at some neighborhoods there's like sidewalks that are messed up, and how we can just make Port Orange in general look better rather than.
Well, how is recycling going to fix a sidewalk?
Because with recycling material, we could sell the material to China, supposedly, and we can get money from it. And with those funds and money, we can help make Port Orange beautiful.
How much does one recycling bin cost?
It was $13.
How long do you think that this project is going to take?
About 5 years.
Why so long?
It's going to take a while to implement to the entire population of Port Orange.
So how are you going to bribe the city of Port Orange?
What was that?
How are you going to bribe them?
Bribe?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to bribe them, though.
But some people doesn't like to recycle, though.
Well, we're just going to show the benefits of recycling, and maybe that will help change their mind.
Do you have like a percentage of like the amount of waste that you're trying to decrease for like in landfills?
No, I do not.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that each home is only allowed to have 3 bins of recycling every week. And maybe the people that are recycling aren't recycling everything that they want to recycle because they're limited to how much they can recycle every week. So maybe you should try to like get rid of that.
Yeah.
Not completely get rid of it, but like maximize the amount of bins that people are allowed to have that do recycle.
Yeah, that would be an idea that we could think of.
Okay.
Can you tell, so you mentioned that there were benefits of recycling. Can you explain them to me?
one, the money, because I care about money, and one, the money, that's a really good benefit for it. And it also helps with waste. Like, plastic takes 100 years to basically go away, and it just sits in landfills and kills people, kills animals in the ocean, and it's just better for the environment.
Okay, so while you're teaching people about recycling, wouldn't you want to broaden your aspects to teach them about reduce, reuse, and recycle?
Well, I'm just moving recycling to right now, and we'll push those aspects later.
Recycling costs a lot of money. It would be better to teach them about reducing and reusing, so you don't have to take it to recycling first.
Well, my project was for recycling.
I'm just
True. Fair enough.
Are there any other comments from the city council?
No.
Would anybody from the public like to make some comments? Okay, so if not, we're gonna vote on Mr. Quinn's proposal. All in favor of his proposal say aye, and all opposed say nay.
Nay.
Aye.
He has to do a roll call. Do a roll call.
Call the roll.
Oh, call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Alyssa Remnant,
Nay.
Zaria Pope,
Nay.
Deja Lanier,
Nah.
Angel Morgan,
No.
Larry DeVito,
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mr. Quinn, your proposal is not going to be approved. Would any of you like to make some suggestions for him?
I like the idea that you have of recycling. I just think that you need to broaden your aspects more, because recycling is not going to necessarily fully benefit us as reduce, reusing, and recycling would. And yes, money is an important thing, but recycling is more about the environment rather than thinking about how much money we'll make. Just take that into account.
Is that all?
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Next up on the agenda, we have Nancy Zhang with the financial department, and she'll be speaking about the financial budget plan. Is there a motion to approve Mrs. Zhang's budget plan proposal?
No. Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Nancy Zinn, and I am with the finance department. First thing I want to bring up that is our total expense for all the projects is $1,742,896, and the finance department will finance this expense through revenues from ad valorem tax, which is property tax, fines and forfeitures, service fees, what else? Sponsorships and grants. And furthermore, I would like to propose a millage rate of 3.8026 with property value of $200 million. My counterpart and I agree on this value because this budget is a project budget and is relatively small compared to a normal budget we consider. And if the council members and mayors would approve this millage rate of 3.0826, this would generate a property tax of $505,689. The property tax will cover about 35% of the budget, excluding the public utilities budget, because the public utilities department generate their own budget. And generally, property tax usually cover about around 39% of the budget. So I would like to ask the council members and mayor to approve a millage rate of 3.0826. Thank you. That's all.
Are there any comments from the city council?
Yeah. That was a lot to take in. Can you give me can you just give me a summary of all of that? what you're proposing.
So the total budget of everything right now is $1,742,896. Okay, and what I'm asking and proposing is for approval from the council members and mayor of a millage rate of 3.0826, and that would generate property tax of $585,689, and the total property value I'm using or my department is using is $200 million, and that is because we're doing like project budgets and not annual budgets. And that will pay for like 35% of the budget, excluding the public utilities department budget because they generate their own revenue. Okay.
Are there any more comments from the city council? Would anybody from the public like to make some comments? Sir, please step up to the podium and state your name for the record.
Good morning, City Council, Mayor.
Good morning.
My name is John Doe II. My relationship, I live in 123 John Doe Drive. I'm a retired old citizen. I'm 75. I'm on a fixed income. I cannot afford all these taxes and millage rate going up. I mean, I could barely just pay for my medication and everything. Can we do a rollback?
Sir, please step up to the podium and state your name.
John Doe I, especially no relation to that guy. You know, I gotta say, I love living in this city. I love the services that are provided. I think we could actually do more, and I'm willing to pay a little bit more in my taxes. So I support the proposal. I'm also on a fixed income, but you know, I can maybe go out to the movies a little bit less, or do some a little bit less to provide. I'm willing to provide a little bit more of my resources to make this a better city. So I just provide an opposite view of crazy John Doe II.
Sir, please step up to the podium and state your name.
Mr. Mayor, John Doe III. No relation to any of those guys. No way. But I will tell you this. Before you stick it to me on my taxes one more time, like you have every year, since all these years I've lived in the city, I just can't believe this. You're going to do it again. I think you need, maybe like have a workshop. And you should ask the city manager right now to have a workshop so that you guys can talk about all this, because you're going to spend millions of dollars of my money, and you haven't had a workshop to talk about it, because I know you guys got to have questions before you just like, boom, staff person, they ask for it, give it to them. Yeah, no, have a workshop. I think you should have a workshop. I've got 2 more minutes to fill, so I'm going to stand up here and ramble for 2 more minutes, because I got 3 minutes, right? Is that the way it works? Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if that's all the comment, one more? Okay. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Hi, I'm Jeff Doe, 1 and 3's cousin. This guy's on his own. Every month I get my Social Security check and I wonder how I'm going to get a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk. And every time I turn around, you guys are raising our taxes. I can barely pay my rent the way it is. My kids don't come and see me anymore. They don't help. Are you going to pay my rent? Are you going to pay my rent? Are you? No? Okay, then don't raise my taxes. I think we need a rollback too. Who said that? John 2. He said we need a rollback. So I think he's on the right track. I think we need to look at doing a rollback. And 3, he had a good idea with a workshop. I think we need to put it all out on the table so the public can come and hear exactly where the money's being spent. Because year after year, you guys ask for more money, and we don't see anything getting done. except I can't buy a loaf of bread. Thank you.
I heard from some very insightful comments from the public, and I think taking those into consideration, I think we're going to have a vote on this proposal. Clerk, can you do the roll for the roll call?
I would love to.
I have a question. Are we allowed to table this or anything like that?
I know you have a motion.
Absolutely. How? Take table
Okay, actually, huh?
So legally, technically in a real world situation, the sidebar, whatever y'all just had going on, is illegal.
Oh.
Because you're subject to the sunshine law, which means everything you do and say that's city business is done in a public meeting when there's any 2 or more city council members together. So you can't call each other on the phone and go, hey, what did you think about the budget? What are you going to do? How are you going to vote? You can't, or email or text or any kind of communication other than at a properly noticed public meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
So with everything in mind, I'm going to ask for a motion to table the subject. Is there a motion to table the subject?
Motion to table the subject.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor say aye and all opposed say nay.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mrs. Zhang. We are going to table this and going to speak on it more. Thank you. Next on the agenda, number 10, we have Kaylee Coleman.
You skipped mine. You skipped mine.
Oh, sorry about that. Number 9, actually, we have Aubriana Washington representing Human Services, and she will be speaking about a wellness program for employees. Is there a motion to approve discussion of Mrs. Washington's wellness program?
Motion to.
Is there a second?
Second.
Go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Washington.
Hello, my name is Aubriana Washington, and I'm with the Human Services Program. We want to create an employment wellness program for the employees of Port Orange, which includes a gym membership to Forever Fitness, located on Clyde Morris Boulevard. To be a member, it costs $25 a person per month. With our 437 employees, we are asking the council for $131,100 to pay from the program, from the citizens' taxes to pay for the program. Benefits of the program are taxes that the citizens are spending on health insurance will go down. Employees will be less likely to be sick. They'll be happier because they're healthier and they'll come to work more and be able to succeed in their job better. When it comes to advertisement, employees who apply for a job in the city of Port Orange will be aware of the program, and employees that are already employees will be aware of the program. Yeah.
Okay, are there any comments from the city council?
Yes. Okay. So, can you restate the name of the gym that you guys looked at?
Forever Fitness.
Okay. Is that the only gym that you guys looked at for budgets?
No, actually, we looked at multiples like Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, but they were more expensive. We were trying to look at a reasonable price.
You said Port Orange employees. What does that mean?
Like firefighters, police officers, people that actually work for the city of Port Orange.
So like first responders?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the purpose of getting them a gym membership? Because some of like police and fire departments, they already have their own gyms. So what is the purpose of getting them a gym membership to another gym?
Well, that's great if they have their own gyms, but at the same time, if they don't have their own gyms, this is just another option for them.
If they don't have their own gyms, they can work out outside. You know, it's free. It don't close.
Mrs. Washington, where did you say you were planning to get the funds for this from?
Taxes from the citizens of Port Orange.
Okay. And can you just go over like the budget and like how the money was separated again?
Okay, it's $25 a person per month at Forever Fitness. We have 437 employees, which is $1,3,100 a year for every employee at the gym.
I feel like if it's first responders and their job like requires them to like be in shape and stuff, I feel like that should like be an automatic criteria, you know, like I shouldn't have to pay someone to be in shape to do their job that I already have to pay for as a service.
I can answer that question for you. The issue with them working out is that most of their jobs are constant throughout the day, and they don't have the time themselves to work out or time to go to the gym themselves. So this would give them the option and the space to go to during their job times or after. Instead of having to buy a gym or buy their own membership, the city will provide them one.
So you just said that they do not have the time because they work all the time to go to a gym, but you want us to fund or get people's tax money to pay for a gym membership that they don't have the time to go for.
If the city is paying for the gym, they could work it into their own time, because like your employee could work it in your own time since it's already paid for. You don't have to pay for it yourself or the employer, so to work into your schedule.
Okay. Question. So, as I said earlier, certain departments like fire and police have their own gym. So if they're not obtaining that free gym that they have from their jobs, what is going to make them go to another free membership to another gym that they're not already going to work out at?
Can I comment on that?
Yeah.
If they don't use the membership, the money isn't getting used. Like it's just like an option
it's
for
like,
them
Well,
to
yeah,
use it.
but I mean, if they are already working out using the gym that their job offers them at their facility, what is the purpose of them getting another gym? It's just, I think it's just a waste of money.
Well, it isn't just for like firefighters, police officers, and first responders, right? You said for all Port Orange City workers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the City Council? Would anybody from the public like to step up and, Miss, please come up and state your name for the record again?
Ms. Basudin, Atlantic High School. I'm wondering if maybe the city can look into or have someone look into their insurance policies or contact the insurance companies and see if that's a benefit that you guys can work into your premiums. I think that would probably, and they have a wide variety of gyms. Being with Volusia County Schools, our school district also has that incorporated into their policy to where we are offered free benefits, free gym memberships within our premiums. So I'm thinking that might, eliminate a little bit of the cost also, and not have to resort to reaching out to its citizens and taxing them for this program.
Are there any other comments from the public? Step up, Miss, to the podium. And state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Jane Doe. And
oh my goodness.
John, got it. And I work 3 jobs. I have 3 kids, and I don't know how I can barely put food on their plate. How am I gonna pay more taxes for you guys, for city workers, when I can barely pay for my own kids? I think it's a waste of money. I think it's a waste of time. I can't get to the gym I can't get to the gym myself. It doesn't make sense why I have to pay taxes for you guys to go to the gym whatever. So
I don't think we're raising taxes for this. I think we're trying to get it out of the budget already. And if we don't have enough money for this, I don't think it's going to happen, even if we did approve it.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Mrs. Zhang, Mrs. Zhang, do we have room in the budget to, like, for taxes, like, would it raise taxes, or do we have room to, like?
We can't hear her. Can we get her on the mic?
Yeah, Ms. Zhang, please step up to the mic.
Hi, for the property tax, we're expecting 585,000, and plus, also it's more since we're doing like 437 employees and $25 per employee per month. That is like 131,000. That's around 131,000 per month. And if you want to do yearly, it's over $1 million. And we expect to pay this through like grant, and that will pay like 44 to 45% of the total budget for for the gym memberships. So we have that budget incorporated in our total expensive, and could possibly pay for that if we get the tax and all the budgets approved. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Zhang. Is there a motion to vote? We're gonna vote on Mrs. Washington's proposal. Clerk, can you call roll?
Alyssa Ramnith,
Nay.
Zaria Pope,
Nay.
Deja Lanier,
Nay.
Angel Morgan,
Yes.
Larry DeVito,
Nay. Ms. Washington, I think until you figure out a way that doesn't involve taxes, I think, like, you should just kind of like figure out if you can find a way that doesn't involve taxes to fund this program. Thank you.
Okay.
Next up on the agenda is number 10. We have Kaylee Coleman. She's the Attorney General, and she'll be presenting her forfeiture case.
So, hello, my name is Kaylee Coleman. For this project, I was partnered with Miss Balmer, and she handed me a forfeiture case. So, I'm just going to give you the rundown of exactly what happened and what took place, and the case study and all the law behind it, and I'll ask you guys to prove it for a motion to take the forfeiture off of my legal recommendation. So on April 18th, 2017, one of our city's police officers pulled over a male and a female in a 2016 Range Rover. The vehicle had been driving in an oncoming traffic, and it caused quite a commotion, as you can imagine. When the vehicle was stopped, the occupants were questioned by the officer, and when the officer stopped the vehicle and he looked inside, he had seen a half-burnt blunt within the ashtray. So a K9 Rex unit came out and they searched the car. Upon searching the car, the officer had pulled both occupants out and read them the Miranda rights. So one of the occupants, the driver, which was named Wiley, she did not waive it, she asked for an attorney. The other occupant, whose name was Liam, waived their Miranda rights and told the officer the following, that 1 ounce of marijuana was brought from California, where they had come from, and upon search there was a total amount of marijuana was around approximately 8 ounces within the vehicle, that both occupants had planned on using some of the marijuana found on them, and that both occupants had sold approximately half an ounce of marijuana for the dollar amount of $1,500. So the occupant was searched, both of them were searched, and just like the occupant had said that they had sold $1,500, it was in his right front pocket, and they had found the exact cash amount, and he had openly admitted after that he had in fact smoked in that car earlier that night. So my legal recommendation for this case is that we seize both the car and the cash amount of $1,500. It is notable that the owner of the vehicle, both of the occupants, but mostly that the vehicle owner was arrested on account of possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, and that the vehicle has no liens on it. So it is an optimal opportunity for us to seize the car without having any problems. And the backing behind this is according to Chapter 932 of the Florida Contraband and Forfeiture Act, especially Section 932.702.
Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Are there any comments from the City Council on what Ms. Coleman is asking for?
No.
No? Can you just restate why you think it would be beneficial for us?
Well, you guys are worried about bringing money into the city, of course. Everyone's worried about bringing in money. So by doing this and seizing the car, we can sell it off and bring more money into the city, as well as taking that money and seizing it and using it.
Okay. No comments from the City Council? Would anybody from the public like to make some comments? Please come up to the stand.
Ms. Basudin with Atlantic High School. With the money and the cash money and then the proceeds from the selling of the vehicle, where exactly do you plan on spending that money? Or is that money that goes back into the training of our fine police officers here in Port Orange?
I think that would be up to, not personally me, but other than the City Council. They would decide where that would go. But I would personally decide that I'd probably put it into the police department to train them.
Thank you.
Any more comments from the public? Okay, if not, we're gonna vote. Mr. Clerk, can you call roll for the vote?
What are we voting on exactly? What's the motion?
Motion to vote on Ms. Coleman's proposal with her forfeiture case.
Alrighty.
Did somebody vote motion?
Yes. Zaria Pope.
Yeah.
Alyssa Ramnith.
Yeah.
Deja Lanier.
Yeah.
Angel Morgan.
Yes.
Larry DeVito.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Ms. Coleman. Next on the agenda, number 11, we have Michaela Adler. She is with the IT department, and she will be speaking about her proposal for Tech with Seniors. Is there a motion to approve discussion on Mrs. Adler's proposal?
Motion to approve discussion.
Is there a second?
A second.
Go ahead, Ms. Adler.
Hi, my name is Michaela Adler, and I am here with the city's IT department. And the project I'm proposing to you is Technology for Seniors. Basically, what we want to do is create classes at the Adult Activity Center in our local area and create classes there for seniors to appropriately and easily use technology in their homes. Items that we would need are things such as laptops. I put different types of phones because there's a variety that people would like, and there will be classes in there that could be considered what would be the best for you. Based on what your needs are, what would be the best item for you to use. And I need a room at the Adult Activity Center and an entire IT employee to run the classes. Right now, my budget for technology is around $2,673, and that is including everything that I would need, and that is including tax within that if we do have to pay tax on these. And for the activity center, I have 2 different budgets. This would be up to the person teaching on if they want to do 1 or 2 days, but for 1 day a week at the activity center, it will be around $1,540 a year. And for 2 days, it will be around $3,081 a year. And this can be changed, and I will explain that later. And budget for an IT employee, we could get someone to volunteer as a teacher from the city that we have working here right now, and that would be considered free because it is volunteering. Or if we do have to pay someone, the annual pay for a tech service employee is $15 to $16 an hour. And for funding, we don't necessarily have to get it from the city or like the citizens within Port Orange. We could do city car washes where we can raise money through there, and we can also get to companies and ask for donations, whether it be for money donations or different technology donations, like say they donate a tablet or something. And as far as advertisement goes, the Adult Activity Center will post it on their site, and they create flyers that they will hand out in the classes that they already have to inform seniors about this new class and send messages. We could also get with the IT department to post things on social media for the city that will allow citizens that may not attend already to see this and consider attending these classes. Right now, we want to also advertise in the classes a BYOT. You all have heard this before, as we are at Atlantic High School. We have a BYOT program, and basically it's a bring your own technology. If senior citizens already have technology that they use, but they don't know how to properly use it, they can bring that there and we can teach them how to. And as I said, it'll be 1 to 2 days a week. That's up to the person teaching it. And they will be about 2-hour-long classes, and we plan to have them all year long. And some of the classes available, one that I talked about, the best technology for you to use, and then how to use Apple iPhones, Androids, LGs, tablets, laptops, Cortana, and Alexa, which is your new at-home device, how you speak to it. It can turn on different lights or play music. They will teach you how to use those and many more classes. In order to teach the class, we need someone who has proof of certification. They have to complete an application with the attached certificates that they have, and we must contact the program specialist in order to get this all set up. Our goals for this project is to allow senior citizens not only connect with their family who could be in different states, we want them to connect, because one main thing for senior citizens is their family. They need that support from their family, and also they care. They want to see people and contact with people. And also connect with their community, so that way they always know what's going on, different activities they could do and ways to help, and just really know their way around technology, so that way they can use it in their daily life without any frustrations.
Thank you, Mrs. Adler. Are there any comments from the City Council?
Is there like a limit on how many people are allowed to each meeting, or it's just like?
I don't believe there is a limit. As far as I know, we could probably hold within the room around 30 people or less.
And since it's only going to be 30, are you sure you need like, I don't remember exactly, but it was like 11 laptops, like 5
that
of each
amount
kind of phone.
Can be changed. We can experiment with it. Like if we get these classes approved and we start them, we could start out with maybe just 5 laptops and see how it goes, see if we need more or not.
Yeah, especially since it's like bring your own technology, like you can test it out to see if people are actually bringing it, and if not, maybe then get more.
Yes.
Okay.
So you said you would need technology. Do you know how much you plan to spend on them?
For the technology, what I have in the budget for the laptops, this is the max amount. It would be around $1,401. Again, this is all including tax, so this is the absolute max if we have to pay tax. For Android phones, 282. For Apples, 402. LGs, 321. Tablets, 268, and the total for that would be around 2,673.
You mentioned an IT tech. Where do you plan on getting this IT tech from?
We could talk to people within the IT department now, and we can see if anyone would be able to volunteer for that. And so that way we wouldn't have to actually go out and pay someone to do these classes.
What if they all ask for payments?
Then we could do that, and basically the whole thing would be, the way that we can cover it is at the Adult Activity Center, there are certain fees. For every hour in the class that you do, it's around $15. But you can put fees on the people going there. That would be up to us whether we want to do that or not, but even just doing like $5 a person per se. After getting all those people in there, we could potentially pay for not only using the facility, but we could potentially pay for, or mostly pay for, the people teaching it. And any money left over, we could actually make money from this if we get enough people to attend and keep the rest of the money after all those expenses are done.
So, so I'm guessing that the people will have to pay to take these classes?
They can. That's up to us whether we want to put fees on them or not. But if we do, they will. However, it's up to us how much we make them pay.
What do you plan to do with the money that you get if you do charge for classes?
If we do charge them, as I said, we would firstly put all the money towards paying the facility. Obviously, we need to pay that off for whenever we use it. And then if we can't get someone to volunteer and we need to pay someone for this, pay them how much they worked. And then after that, any money that is left over will go into the city council.
So if we end up not charging the people to pay to take the class, how will we make money?
You really wouldn't. If we don't charge anyone, basically this is just coming out yearly. And basically just for the classes itself, the annual cost for 1 day a week, as I said, is going to be about $15.40 for annual, and then for 2 days it's going to be about $30.81.
How many recommended classes do you think a person would need?
Well, I kind of want to run this all year long and keep it going for as long as we can, because it's not just we have one generation of seniors and it's done. You're always going to have new seniors coming in and people that don't know how to use technology, so it would be nice to keep the classes for those people. And it would be up to them whether they stop or keep going depending on how comfortable they feel with their technology.
Okay, so earlier you said the class sizes would max be of 30 people, and I know that in schools and stuff, that's around the max per classroom, and teachers have hard times teaching the students because there's so many. Especially now with this being technology, how is that going to be an effective way of teaching, especially the elderly, on how to operate these devices?
We could possibly get more than one person to volunteer for these classes. We would just have to make sure that they are all certified, and we can also go through creating different PowerPoints, or maybe making little flyers or little pamphlets on how to teach yourself a little bit at home. Nothing too advanced, just little things here and there that they can do on their own time.
Are there any more comments from the city council? Would anybody from the public like to make some comments? Okay, please stand. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Francisco Gonzalez, and I was just wondering, because I come from not a rich family, and I don't have technology available to me like most people do nowadays, and I was just wondering if that maybe I could go, maybe I could come around, learn some stuff, and that was all I had. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We could possibly be able to get classes set up at different centers that would allow that. The Adult Activity Center is strictly for adults and senior citizens, but there are other centers that we could talk to about getting classes for younger generations.
Are there any more comments from the public?
Hi, Jane Doe here. So I know I can't help but drop my phone and it cracks. So what's gonna happen? Are we gonna spend money on cases for the phones and tablets too, or are we just gonna have them elderly just handle them without any cases or protective screens or anything? That's my question.
Thank you.
We could put in there that we could use cases and screen protections, or whenever we buy this technology from companies, we could see if we could get some sort of deal that we could get those included with the phone, or maybe ask if they could do those in donations possibly.
If there's no more comments from the public, Oh, okay.
Jeff Doe, Port Orange. I think this is a great idea. My grandkids don't live with me, so every time I need to send out an Instagram or a Snapchat, I got to call them. And even though this is a great idea, the adult center is pretty far from my house, and they don't let me drive anymore because of that lady I ran over. So I don't have a license. How would you help seniors that aren't able to drive get to these classes? Thanks.
We could possibly send out notifications on different modes of transportation that they could get there, such as like Votran buses or a taxi, Uber, all that kind of stuff. Or we could talk to some of the places around there and see if maybe they could set up something to where they could go and pick up people whenever we have classes like that. See if they can get some sort of mobile transportation going for there.
Are there any more comments from the public? If not, Mr. Clerk, can you do roll call?
Do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, motion to approve Michaela Adler's proposal on technology for senior citizens.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I second.
Alyssa Remnith,
Yes.
Zari Pope,
Yes.
Deja Lanier,
Yes.
Angel Morgan,
Yes.
Larry DeVito.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Adler. Next up on the agenda, we have Mrs. Trinity Jones. She's working with community development and Trinity Douglas. And she will be speaking about her urban chicken program. Is there a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Is there a second?
Second.
Go ahead.
Hello, I am Trinity Douglas, and I am here with community development, and I will be proposing to you the urban chicken temporary permit. And in November 2013, we decided that we should have urban chickens, and in May 2014, it was disapproved, and again in 2016 it was talked about and it was approved, and we decided that it would be a 2-year temporary permit given to 30 residents for 2 years, up to five chickens in their yard. And for the person yourself, in order to get the chickens, we have to have a class for you to know how to take care of the chickens. You have to have proof of your ownership of where you live, and there will be the proof that you have the proper gating for the chickens that you have, such as a 6-foot gate around your yard. You have to have no moving coops for the chickens to live there. And we will have animal control and another company come out there twice a month on 2 Tuesdays out the month to check and see if the chickens are living right and they're being properly taken care of. And from you guys, we don't need any money. We just need a yay or nay to actually pass the temporary permit or the permanent permit. And really, we just need support or no.
Okay, are there any comments from the city council?
Yes. If you do checkups and you see that these chickens aren't being like taken care of, or since it's not permits or whatever, when you take the chickens, where are you putting them?
Back in farms, wherever they came from, we had to get them from somewhere. So
what if they don't want them back?
They'll be put to sleep.
Oh.
I mean, we're gonna eat them anyway, so. I don't know.
Well, going off of that, what are some of the benefits for having chickens?
The benefit, they're a natural pest control. The poop is good for the soil in your backyard. Natural meat, natural eggs that they lay. It's more natural, and that's mostly what they want the chickens for.
So, like, if someone was mistreating their chickens, like, what would be the process of, like, revoking someone of their chickens? Like, would they be warned about it, or, like...
I mean, when you go through the class, you're told all of that, the boundaries for the chickens, for the 2-year time period that you have them. So, like Angel said, when they're being mistreated or whatever, and you go do the checkups and they're not being treated right, you take them back and either take them back to the farm, because we don't have to take them back to a local farm. It can be anywhere, such as like Washington or something.
Question. So if people wanted to have chickens in their backyards and they wanted to have chickens, why wouldn't they just move to an agricultural based place and become a farmer?
That's what we're trying to prevent. I mean, in the city of Port Orange, we want to make it residential, that we have chickens in our backyard. Everyone doesn't want to go to where you just said and go get chickens. I mean, and you can just have them in your backyard. And there's not just the benefits of eating the chicken. It's the natural pest control, like I said, the fertilizer in your backyard.
So, but what does this mean for neighbors now who do not like the smell, the sound?
Yeah. That's what, during the 2-year period, we would take in the neighbors, say so, try to fix certain stuff. That's why you have to have a 6-foot gate. And like I said, during the 2-year period, you'll have the neighbors say so will actually get us to help for the permanent permit.
Okay, but during the trial, what if the noise and the smell are too overbearing for the neighbors, and the neighbors just decide to move out of Port Orange because there's people who have chickens in their backyard? That's us losing population and money.
That's what I'm saying. As the neighbors tell us the complaints, they'll try to be fixed, but obviously if that doesn't work there, the chickens will have to be taken somewhere else, because that's the whole point of the temporary permits given out.
I think what she's basically asking for is just for a trial run, not necessarily anything set in stone.
Because they can always be taken away.
Are there any more comments by the City Council? Would anybody in the audience like to make some comments? Please come up to the podium, sir.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. John Doe II. I left China. I don't want to have chicken in my backyard. They're horrible. They stink. They make a lot of noise. They wake up early in the morning. They carry disease. I love organic chicken. You could just go down to Publix and buy some, or go down to Walmart and buy some. I don't want chicken in my backyard.
Thank you.
In a not slick way. So as he said, he doesn't want chickens in his backyard. That's why he just doesn't get them. The ones who want them. Out of the residents in Port Orange that want some, I don't know if it'll be 30 for the temporary trial, or it'll be more than 30, but only 30 people that want some will be getting the temporary trial.
What if it's more than 30? And like, how would you go about distributing each permit?
The people who have more, like, I came up with that you should have to make at least $45,000 a year. $45,000 a year in order to have the chickens, because we don't want them they have to be taken care of. It's not free to take care of chickens. So we'll have to go with the ones who first come, first serve type.
Going off of what Mr. Doe said, how would you plan to, like, Mr. Doe the second, how would you combat, like, people, feeling, like, uncomfortable, like, chickens having diseases? I feel like that's something important that you should think about, like, how would you make sure, like, these chickens don't have diseases?
Okay. First, we'll try to keep them. It's just like before you go to daycare, you're taken care of before you go there. We're going to try to do that stuff before they're taken there, such as on farms. I don't know if vets take care of chickens. Like, they'll be taken care of probably such as raised from newborn to old enough. And the class will be in January of 2019, and you take the class then. It's a 2-hour class. And if you think the chickens have disease, I just feel like you shouldn't come, because if I want something, I know what I want. So we're going to try to take care of them before they're put out in daycare.
Okay, well, if that's it for comments,
I have a
yes,
comment.
sir. Yes, please come up to the podium.
I was just wondering if this was just poultry in general. Like, I don't want, like, a rooster screaming across, like, the other side of my neighborhood, waking me up at 4:30 in the morning when my alarm clock is set at 7:30. So, especially on Sundays, I go to a Spanish mass, and that's at 1. So every other English class, or not English class, I'm sorry, every other English mass is at around like 8:30 or whatever time they wake up. So I wouldn't appreciate being woken up by a rooster at like 4:30 in the morning when my alarm clock is at 9:30 and I need to get ready around like 10, because it's like a 2-hour drive to like my church, and I just wouldn't appreciate that. And my other question was, it was more of a question, more of a statement. Chickens in general, I love chickens because I come from a Latino background. So chickens are everywhere where I come from. So everywhere you go, chickens everywhere. They're so fun. You throw balls at them. It's hilarious. And yeah, I would like to thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Douglas, for having chickens. Roosters I will not accept, but other than that, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Well, Mrs. Douglas,
Mayor, to answer your question or your statement or whatever it was, her proposal isn't for roosters, it's just for chickens. Chickens can lay they're a breed of chickens that lay eggs without roosters being nearby or in the same area as them. So there will be no roosters to wake you up at 9 o'clock for English mass.
Yes, sir.
Mayor John Doe, I know I come up here all the time, and you see me with one little thing you may not know about me is I grew up on a farm, and well, you're shaking your head. And I don't know if you guys grew up on a farm here in the rising metropolis of Port Orange, but when chicks are little and small and they're cute, they make these little bitty beep 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 sounds, and you feed them a little corn, and they're all nice and they run around. And you know how to tell the difference between the little chicken and a little rooster when they're little? You can't, council. So people are going to get chickens they think are chickens and the roosters. And I got another question for you. When a rooster's on the top of a building, right, and the roof's like this, and it's on the top, and it lays an egg, which way does it go? Do you know?
Down.
No, a rooster can't lay eggs.
Oh.
It's another point. You can't tell the difference between the chicken and the rooster, right? So they're going to grow up, and they're going to go peep, peep, peep. But when they grow up, they're going to go, right? They're going to, he said, they're going to wake people up, and I'm going to be upset, and everybody's going to be upset. So how are you going to stop them from getting them by accident? And then when they get them by accident, they start cockle-doo-dooing at 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do? You're going to turn them into chicken soup? I know a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that. Concerned citizens for animal welfare. Instead of cats, they're going to be concerned about chickens running around the street and roosters. I'm going to run over them with my car, and I won't be able to drive. He ran over a lady, I'm going to run over chickens. The place is going to be like Key West. Just Think about that.
Oh, go ahead.
Jane Doe the second. Okay, so my question is, if there's a hurricane, whether this is in trial version or if this thing actually gets set in stone, if the person that you're backed up to in your neighborhood, their fence blows down, you don't have the money to put up a fence on your side, and they're refusing to re-put up a fence on their side, what do you do with the chickens? That's my question.
So that's why it goes back to how much you make a year. When you get a dog, you have to take care of it out your own money. I mean, the city of Port Orange doesn't pay for your pet theirself, I meant. So when you get the chickens, if your fence blow down, you are entitled to build a fence, or you get the chickens taken. It's just like if you have an outside dog, when the storm comes, you have to find a place in your house for your dog. Your neighbors don't.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Frank. We all live in Florida, I'm assuming. And, you know, we got hurricane season coming up. And, you know, it's a big disaster when it comes around because, you know, global warming, et cetera, et cetera. I was just wondering, we have debris everywhere after hurricane season. And I was just wondering, is that going to have to include chickens and roosters? Are we going to have blood on our streets from roosters and chickens? I mean, is that acceptable? Is it? I'm asking you, the City Council of Port Orange, and ask, what are we going to do with the roosters and the chickens after hurricane season? Are they just going to be flying away? No, they can't fly. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. Mr. Doe, the second, do they fly?
That's the first.
The first? Either way. I don't know. This family.
This family.
Either way, what I'm trying to say is I don't want to walk out of my house on hurricane season and see my chickens die
Dead.
on the floor. Thank you.
Well, Mrs. Douglas, I will add, like, you know, personally, I grew up with chickens too, and everything that everybody has said is actually kind of valid. Like, do you have anything to say about what the audience has said?
Okay, everyone's saying something about the neighbors, or when the storm comes, the neighbors will be, again, helping us for the permanent. When the temporary comes, they can be taken when the neighbor has multiple complaints. We'll try to fix them first, because most of the complaints are fixed within like a week or two. And so the storm, like I said, we will hope when we give you the permit, it's your responsibility on your own now, not the Port Orange responsibility anymore. So that'll be either put them inside, and if they're taken, if we get a complaint, if we don't get a complaint, we have nothing to say. We have no knowledge that the chickens, not roosters, but chickens, will be taken or fixed. And when they said with the roosters and the chickens, you can't tell the difference. That's why when they take this class, we'll have chickens breeded, and they'll be separated from the roosters and the chickens. So when you get the chickens, you'll know they're chickens. Hopefully.
Well, if those are all the comments, I'm going. Oh, okay.
Hi. Mr. Mayor, Council. So I keep hearing this, you got to make so much money to raise chickens. I'm on Social Security. Told you that already. Don't drive. Remember that lady? She had a nice funeral.
Oh my God.
Anyway, my Social Security comes out to about $9,800 a year. And I think if anybody should get some chickens, it should be people that are making less money if they're going to be used for food. And you can get the eggs from them. This way, I don't have to worry about the taxes going up that you're going to fund these other projects with. so I can get my loaf of bread, gallon of milk, and have some egg salad. Thank you.
Well, Ms. Douglas, would you consider making some exceptions for people who make less money?
No, because you can't take care of them. I mean, I see homeless people with dogs and stuff, they find a way to take care of their pets. So I wouldn't give it to people who have less money, because if you're using it for food, you have to have the money to, I'm pretty sure you don't just slaughter the chickens in the backyard when you're ready to eat them. So if you're not doing it yourself, you get them cut fresh, and I'm pretty sure everything's like that is not free. So it's no exceptions to the broke people.
The broke people.
Okay, well, if there's no more comments, are there any more comments from the public? No? Okay. Then I'm going to ask the city clerk to call roll so we can vote.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Is there a motion to approve Ms. Douglas' urban chicken program?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Alyssa Remnith,
Nay.
Zaria Pope,
Yes.
Deja Lanier,
Nay.
Angel Morgan,
Nay.
Larry DeVito,
Yes. So, Ms. Douglas, that's a 3 out of 5 vote saying no, so we are gonna disapprove of your proposal for right now. Maybe work on being more inclusive for people who don't make as much money, don't have as much income, and think of some more ways to, you know, make sure, like some more health regulations. Think of some ways that people won't make more complaints, just stuff like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and number 13 on the agenda, we have Rachel Norwood with Utilities, and she will be speaking about Seabird Island.
Hi, my name is Rachel Norwood, and I'm with the Utilities Department. And so we have a problem. There is a cracked sewer pipe at Seabird Island. It's on Dunlun, right before the bridge. And that simply can't happen. We have to fix it. So we have 2 options. We can either replace the whole 2,500 feet of pipe, or we can rehabilitate it, which means slipping a PVC pipe inside of the first pipe, so it just it acts as a liner. Let's do that. Replacing the pipe will cost a total of $453,750, and just under $500,000. And the rehabilitation will cost a total of $68,750. So it's a vast difference between rehabilitation and replacing. Replacing the pipe will will take just under a year, and rehabilitating it will take less than a month. I know if it were me in that situation, if I lived at Seabird Island, it's a mobile park. If I lived there, I would not be happy if it took a year. And we would only replace the pipe if it was a total failure. So if it completely failed, you couldn't use it anymore. But that's not the case. We can still use the pipe if we just need a liner. So I'm asking you guys to either vote yes or no on rehabilitating the pipe.
Okay, are there any comments from the city council? So basically what you're saying is rehabilitating the pipe will be less costly and take a 12th of the time to complete. It'll take much shorter of a time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you said that we'd only replace the pipes if it completely failed.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly is rehabilitating?
So you have the pipe and it has like a little crack in it. So it's a clay pipe. They used these years ago. And so now we have PVC. And so we slip the PVC pipe so it's smacked against the first pipe. And so it's twice as reinforced as the first one. And it's a perfectly good option to use as opposed to replacing it.
And so in the event that, so it's basically lining the inside when you rehabilitate it. So in the event that the outer pipe totally fails with the rehabilitated pipe on the inside, is the rehabilitated pipe on the inside strong enough to withstand it failing?
Yes, it's made of the same material as the replaced pipe. They're both PVC. Okay. So they'll last at least 50 years, if not more.
Okay. And that's for both replacing and rehabilitating?
Yes, sir.
So what you're saying is that rehabilitating will cost way more, a lot less. It will take a lot less time, and it's just as strong as replacing it?
Yes.
Are there...
Okay, so let me just specify this. So you are not asking us to choose to fund either rehabilitation or refunding. You are only asking us to fund the rehabilitation process.
I'm asking you to either choose to fund the rehabilitation if you don't want to do that, and if you want to fund replacing, which is a lot more money and it takes a lot more time. I don't know why you do it if it's not a complete failure. So I'm asking you to vote yes or no on rehabilitating. That answer your question?
Yes.
Cool.
Are there any more comments from the City Council? If not, are there any comments from the public? Okay, well, if there's not, I'm going to ask the city clerk to call roll so we can vote.
Was there a motion to approve, sir?
Oh. Is there a motion to approve Ms. Norwood's proposal for rehabilitating or replacing the pipes on Seabird Island?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
A second.
Alyssa Remnith,
Yes.
Zaria Pope,
Yes.
Deja Lanier,
Yes.
Angel Morgan,
Yes.
Larry DeVito.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Norwood.
And to be clear, that was for rehabilitating?
Yes, that will be for rehabilitating the pipes on Seabird Island. Number 14 on the agenda, we have Sierra Sessoms, and she's with the fire department. She will be speaking about a campaign for non-emergency calls. Is there a motion to discuss Ms. Sessom's campaign for non-emergency calls?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Go ahead.
Good morning, hello. As you know, my name is Sierra Sessoms. And as you guys all know, 911 is predominantly the main number we know for emergency calls. But at this point, we have a high numbers of people calling 911 for non-emergencies. So I came up with the resolution to create a campaign which is called For Emergencies Only, which will direct and guide people on the correct numbers they can call for the incident or whatever they're in. And I'm just asking you guys to fund me $2,000 for flyers, newspaper, and social media. I use these three because statistically they are proven to show they're easier to get out of people. And newspaper have a 38% of the population people read the newspaper, and about 2.77 billion people use social media. And I can use a boost on the social media so that it's predominantly shown without Port Orange people will see it. And the flyers, if I may approach the whatever this is, a bench, this. To show you my flyer or whatever. Okay. And my flyers will be in different colors of red and blue before the lines. And the flyers will contain numbers for the Public Works, Public Utilities, Homeowner Association, Volusia County, Water and Power Lines, Power Lights,
Waste Pro, Finance, Engineering, Building, Planning, and Code Enforcement. The newspaper, it will be a little ad as the first page is, and if you have to flip it to see it. But the first paper will be on the newspaper on top showing for emergencies only, the name of it. And then underneath will be information on why we're doing this campaign and just a short analysis of everything. And social media, of course, will be a page just showing you guys. I guess we just teach you guys through social media since it's such a wide amount of older people and younger people on there, just to know about it, the campaign. And there's about 2,580 non-emergency calls. Well, this is not like an everyday number. It's like this day, this is the amount of calls that happen out of the 9,336, and that's a really high number. If we could use this way to have the non-emergency calls towards their area, then it would speed up the process for people that's really in danger or in need of assistance. So, yes, I'm just asking for approval of the money, if we have to approve it.
And you said how much was the money?
2,000, sir.
Okay.
Do you know how much like the flyers cost, the ad in the newspaper, and how much it'll cost to boost
yes.
on social media?
Social media, it will be just like a page, so it will be free, and I can work with IT to also help me set it up. And then the newspaper is like $7.25 per inch. And the flyers, I don't know exactly the right amount I want, but it will be in the police officers' cars for dispatch when they go out to hand out flyers a certain amount. Probably like 25 papers per whatever.
But how much will it how much will it cost to have those flyers made?
That number, I don't know for sure, because it really depends. I can just also use papers not being used, and then print out on that one, just do copies, and then have it altered.
You mentioned a social media boost. Like, how much would it cost to boost an ad for non-emergencies?
I can work with IT, so it wouldn't really cost that much. Yeah.
Are there any more comments by the city council?
No.
I think you have like a really good idea. Basically what you're trying to do is to direct people to only call like 911 for like serious emergencies, right? And
yes.
What other options they have?
Yeah, to let them know, like, if your car breaks down, you don't call 911, you call this number and that number for a tow truck, and you call your family on the side of the road.
Okay. If that's all for city council comments, are there any comments from the public? Okay, if not, I'm gonna ask the clerk to, oh wait, is there a motion to approve Ms. Sessom's approval to campaign for non-emergency calls?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the clerk to call roll so we can vote.
Alyssa Ramneth,
Yes.
Zaria Pope,
Yes.
Deja Lanier,
Yes.
Angel Morgan,
No.
Larry DeVito.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Sessoms.
Thank you, and can I get that paper back, please?
Oh yeah. Have this down. Okay, and that is all for proposals. Number 15 on the agenda, are there any public comments? Okay, then after that, if there's no public comments, are there any council comments that would like to be made?
What is number 15, Mr. Mayor?
Number 15 is public comments. Okay, if no public comments want to be made, are there any council comments? No. If not, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay. Meeting adjourned at 10:46 a.m.